Hello everyone, this is Judith, Twin Flame Essentials, and we want to know what you need to know today in regards to your twin flame journey, right? What is important for you to know right now? And this is more the sharing of important information than kind of a reading, right? So yeah, I pulled two cards from the archetype cards by Carolyn Mays, and out came the bully and the guide. Found this combination very, very interesting, right? The bully and the guide. So when it comes, first of all, I'd like to read the cards to you. There's always a light attribute and a shadow attribute. So for the bully, the light attribute is highlights your tendency to intimidate others, helps you confront the inner fears that bully you. And shadow attribute conceals deep fears behind verbal or physical abuse. And the guide card, the light attribute represents the nature of the divine in life and in yourself. And shadow attribute places financial gain and control over imparting spiritual insight. Yeah, so those are the cards that came out, and I find the combination very interesting because when it comes to the bully aspect, then those are mostly people who not so much your twin flame, but more other people in your life, other players, right? Could be like neighbors that bully you, could be like family members that bully you, could be that you are bullied at work. So not so much your twin flame, but still those people are reflecting, mirroring aspects where you are bullying yourself, in fact. Yeah, and of course, same as it's always like a mirror, right? But I assume that your twin flame is not bullying you, right? This only very rarely happens. I've never heard of that. But yeah, the other people can very well bully you. I have people in my life who are bullying me, right? And where I can observe this kind of energy and where I can say, yes, there is some truth to that we need to always ask. There can be various things, right? When things show up like a bully, this can also be like the energy of the building and land, or it can be like entities, all kinds of things that are attracting those bullies, but also like our own energy, and where are we bullying ourselves, where are we not allowing ourselves basically to experience what is in alignment with our true essence. Yeah, so we have belief systems going where we are where we think we have to fulfill everybody else's needs first, where we have to behave in a certain way, and those are a lot of things are also habits, right? It's just by habit that we behave in that way, and we are not even realizing that we are in fact like we're bullying ourselves, right? So it's worth to take a closer look here. Yeah, and let's move on to the guide card. Of course, now to move forward on the journey and to also like receive guidance when it comes to resolving things around the bully and bullying ourselves and those players in our lives, and also when it comes to our twin flame, of course, then we need guidance. And we basically need to connect with our higher self, right? And there's also such thing as a guide team. So we have guides, and we would need to upgrade those guides also on a regular basis, because we have guides that are with us for several lifetimes, right? And those guides might not be the ones who can give us the best advice. So we might also need to upgrade those guide teams. But first of all, we need to connect to those guide teams as well, right? To those guides. And here this is almost like the hermit, right? So to connect with our guides, we have to go inwards. This has to do with wisdom, right? So this person is walking through the dark, cannot see very far, only the next step, and has to trust that he or she is moving in the right direction. That's the same for us. So whenever we are like insecure, this means that we don't have guidance really, or that we cannot connect to this guidance, or that we cannot trust this guidance in any way. Because even if we are blind and move forward, we could tell by how this feels whether we are heading in the right direction or not. And here we come to a little clarifier that I've pulled from a deck that is actually not very spiritual. It's the art of conversation. Basically, those are questions to start conversation. But I found it really helpful because there are 3 questions on this little card. I read them to you. A living legend. Anybody come to mind? Which food do you find most off-putting? Happiness. What comes to mind? Yeah, and with this happiness, right? As I always say, your happiness is your guidance. So even if you, no, not even if it's just an additional guidance, right? Or it's just the way that your guide team would communicate to you, that if you feel happy, if you feel good, this means you're moving in the right direction. If not, then this might not be the way, right? You might have to make some changes. So and this card also tells me that you might to address some issues with food. Maybe you have an addiction in relation to food or something. I had an addiction, an eating disorder, right? So it always stays challenging in a way to find a healthy relationship with food. But what I found very helpful for me is just stating, I love food, or I am in love with food. This is better than choices, right? You could, of course, also say, please help me to make healthy choices in relation to food. But I found this a little bit, puts a lot more pressure on the person. When you just say, I'm in love with food, then you don't, well, it means that it's a pleasure to receive food. It's a pleasure to eat food. It's a pleasure to see what is there for you, what the divine put out there for you to receive, right? And there are no, it's more open. There are no rules. It's only about love, right? And that's, yeah, I found this very helpful. So maybe this is helpful for you. Try that if this applies. Yeah, a living legend. Anybody comes to mind? You come to mind. You are the living legend. You are the living legend. Yeah, it also speaks a little bit about putting the other person on a pedestal, right? So this is difficult. Yeah, we need more balance, right? We need more balance in the connection. And why do you put this other person on the pedestal, and why do you put yourself down, right? This is also about bullying yourself in a way, because why would you not be on the pedestal? This is about a balanced relationship between divine masculine and divine feminine energy. So about God and goddess, right? King and queen. So no one is higher than the other. So that's very important to know this. And the awareness that whatever you see in the other person is something that the positive aspects, right? The living legend that you see in this other person are all things that you have as well, right? So yeah, that's you see your light in this other person, and vice versa. And of course, you also see your shadow, and vice versa. And this has to be balanced, right? And not to forget the other players. They are also participating in the game. And so the universe is, of course, talking to us with this very, very clear mirror, which is our divine counterpart, and mirrors directly to us all the issues. But of course, that's not all. There is a whole environment that is speaking to us. So we would like to take a chance and get the guidance from all of this that we need, because everything is a blessing in disguise. Even a bully is a blessing in disguise. It's hard, I know, but that's the truth. Without this, we would never find those spots, those hidden spots that need to be healed. So yeah, lots of love to you, everyone. I wish you a beautiful day, and I hope this was helpful. I see you in the next video, and bye for now, everyone. Take care.